I see.
I thought about wearing red. It occurred to me. Except for I moved all my clothes to my other place.
Oh, John, I see you, sir.
Why did you do that?
Because I left.
Thank you. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'll play Dennis.
You're always very lightweight. Sure, yes.
Yeah, no, it gives the illusion.
Oh, yeah.
No, I can't be having my earbuds like good. No.
Yeah, oh, I don't know what those are for.
We got them on all the tables. One day I will remember and I won't have to ask you.
You need to set up an inside spot. Right. And you don't have a light. Or I'll even bump you. Yeah, sorry. Wow, these are really so morning. Good, how are you?
That's where the problem stems from.
Yeah. No.
Feel free to take a Valentine and pass it around.
No, I love
We bailed you out, we got you some giver.
Yeah.
Are you all right?
Yeah, they're very, yes, and then you can grab a little ribbon and a card and a flower. Yes, and just go get some pendants.
Oh, okay.
Just tie it up like this.
Well, it's ironic, my sister.
Somebody thinks that I might work right now.
How are you doing?
Good.
Well, you look so different today. I
I'm
haven't
gonna grab some lunch.
Fancy. Look so good.
There you go. Perfect. Welcome.
Thanks. I figured I'd see you in my text.
You guys.
I figured if you were in our person, they were like, is this Olivia asking for gift cards again? You know,
That's not what I put it off.
Okay, what did you put in there?
She says they're in the office.
I maybe had already
What
grabbed
you're
it.
talking about.
I think I had already grabbed it.
Okay, then that's great.
I'm sure they do. No, nobody raised their hand. So anyways, I'm working on getting that this week.
Okay.
I thought it send a message just in case on apply. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really glad to hear.
Take a treat and a Valentine. They're your favorite work Valentines. They're very appropriate. Oh, yeah.
Filling one out.
So you can choose one and then write who it's from.
Hang it in there, hang it in there.
And then
Someone's up at That's great.
We did that separately, right?
Correct.
I didn't even do
They
that.
could probably take a couple too. Oh, yes, please take a couple. And take some treats. Yeah, so you can just kind of pick which fits best.
Between my appointments.
Well, it is different.
You get it right away.
The pickle? It's your show, bro. It's my show. It's not a show. But it pretty much was a show.
You don't have to do it right Where are you sitting, Melissa?
Oh, right here.
It's a card from mouth to mouth.
You.
I'm not even too dorky.
All right, everybody, let's settle in a bit. Let's settle in a bit. Unless you are getting a rose, Tati can, maybe before we get started, you want to just give a quick synopsis as to what the roses are?
I would love to. So there's a few, this is an interactive meeting today. A couple things, you'll notice there's blank note cards on your table, and those are to write letters to Victoria for her little party on Thursday. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, that'd be great. Then there's also a frame up here that if you could sign that so we can give that to Victoria, that would be amazing too. And then since it's Valentine's Day, there's obviously a giant thing of flowers here, and there's some very funny work-appropriate Valentines. I didn't want anybody to have to give out, like, will you be mine? And so you can grab one of these, and you can write who it's from. If you want to write a little note on the back, you can too. And then you take a flower and one of these little ribbons, and you can, like, tie them together and give it to your work bestie, maybe not Valentine. So that's how that works.
So
That's
fun,
awesome.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Toddy, for adding the extra love to a lovely day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I know some of you might be disappointed, but I already have a Valentine, so you'll have to try next year. But I would like to give my work Valentine to Jason. Work would suck without you, Jason.
There you go.
So thank you.
Good model.
Hey, awesome. It's great to be back. We're gonna do things a little bit uniquely today because we've got some feedback from people saying we want some more interaction too. It's not just sit here and hear from people, but let's interact together. So we're gonna do a little bit more of that, and let's move forward. So, as you know, when we sat down over a year ago now to decide, we know what KWRI International stands for as far as mission and their values. What is our purpose? Our purpose is to serve you, therefore impact lives. And our goal for 2030 is $1 million in profit share. Let's just go over the belief system for KW. Win-win or no deal. Integrity, always do the right thing. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty, equity, opportunities for all, and success results through people. Now, we just had, for those of you who didn't notice or weren't aware of it, we just had Mo Anderson. She took over our ALC meeting, so therefore it was the best one we've ever had. Not just because it was her, but because they didn't have to hear me. So Mo had a huge part in helping develop ALCs, and ALCs actually their ALC came up with this belief system, and in 2021 added equity into this mix. So those of you who don't know, Mo Anderson was a CEO for quite some time, and she's the spiritual leader, I would say, of Keller Williams. And there were a couple agents that wanted to share a couple ahas, who had a couple ahas from this morning that they wanted to share. Who was it? Someone said they wanted to share. Yeah. Keep going. Yeah. Why is that coming up?
Yes.
Oh, it's coming up. All right, never mind. We are adjusting on the fly today, by the way, we'll say that. So, when it comes to the belief system, there's probably no one I've witnessed that's been around thus far that has stuck with it like Victoria. She is our play of the week, so let's give her a round of applause. Again, why was she play of the week? Not just because she did the right thing by choosing family, God, family, business, because she views us all as her business family. And I don't even think she has much of a gray area between that either. We're all kind of put in her family. But the last few weeks here, she worked tirelessly to make sure that you all were handed off to Toddy in as great shape as possible. And I don't know if I've ever seen anyone work that hard who is moving on to something else. So I thought that was very beautiful. So therefore, despite the snow, let's get to Los Grandes in Burnsville tomorrow, starting at 4. And I believe there are cards for people to fill out, as well as a frame. Toddy, where's the frame?
Frame's right here.
Frame's right there. Outstanding. So let's show her the love. I'm guessing she might like a hug tomorrow. It's just something.
The goal would be to get every single person here and those that aren't here to fill out a thank you to her. It'll take you about 30 seconds. All the agents, when I left KW Maple Grove back in 2012, did that, and I had like 110 handwritten note cards to read, and it was really powerful. So if you would just take 30 seconds or a minute, you can seal it. If you plan to do your own, that's fine too. But the goal would be that we have a bunch to give her tomorrow. And then the frame, Melissa, do you want to speak to that? You just want them to send her a little wish?
As a memento, when Victoria goes to Arizona, we'd like her to have a collage of photos that we're gonna put in the middle here. And then just like the weddings that you've been to or the grad parties that you've been to, please at a minimum sign your name on it or write a kind word or two.
Thank you.
Yes.
The white part, correct?
In the white spot with the black pen that's next to it.
So you can see it.
Good clarification.
Good clarity, Toddy.
My wife has always tried to frame me. Moving on. Thank you all. It's been stuff. Well, I just want to recognize, we set it out on social media, but Sarah Anderson has stepped up to be a regional ALC member. She knows.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for stepping up where you have and continue to do so. Yeah. And let's welcome Bonnie Wynn. Bonnie Wynn came from Remax Results, and she is on Scott Naz's team as an administrator of the COO. I think it is COO. She's cool. She's cool. Get that? That's really good. For North Star Commercial. So that'll be awesome. Scott has something pretty wonderful going. Any of your commercial needs, pick a phone, give them an email. They'll help you out, team with you, whatever you may need. KWPR Awards night. Wow. I got to watch it happen from my couch as you all were posting things as they went along. So thank you very much. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I've been to a lot of corporate events. I've been with some great companies, and they do a lot to hire people out to do a lot of neat things, right? And they mean well, right? It's a wonderful, it's kind of the template. And the main goal always feels like it's to get their name out through you in social media, and that's it. That's the way I always walked off feeling. However, this was custom. I hope you all felt it. This is like the present that you get at Christmas that someone takes a ton of time or knits together or something like that, and you just, wow, you really feel the love of it. It wasn't just ordered. So there are a lot of people involved, but especially Toddy and Kelsey. I just want to give them a round of applause. All right. Oh, there was one last thing. Which raffle winners is it? Oh, all the raffle winners. All right, let's go. Games. Jeff won the games basket. There we go. All right, good. Dog grooming kit. Sorry, Olivia, you missed out. Yeti cooler drink. All right. Bamboo charcuterie. Oh, Ryan. Stacy's husband, right? Lots of office fees free. Nice. Isaac, go ahead. John, were you aware of that?
No, but there should be a change there. It should be John.
Congrats, John. That's John. There you go. $200 gift card. Zach Haley. Ooh. Dinner with Olivia. Sarah. Wow. Ozark trip courtesy of Jenny Kissling is Andy Coach. Birthday. perfect, she says, Andy, just go climb a tree. So, yeah, so again, thank you so much. Jason was a wonderful MC from what I hear, so let's give him a round of applause. And what I was shocked by, but yet not, was. What?
Alcohol.
Why is alcohol? But I was just, how many people just dressed up? You know, you don't have to. It just says so much about how much love and care has been put into them before, and how much you guys have enjoyed that before, and how much you have just added to the night. So look at this. This is awesome. So thank you very much. And one of the things I wanted to encourage, I was kind of sneaky about it, as Ann spoke of, was I wanted you to post pictures from the event, tag KWPR and tag me so that I could see all the fun pictures. And I said I would. And I said I would give $100 out of my own money and do a drawing of the people who did tag me and post it. Of course, that was to make sure that your clients knew that you love what you do. You're somewhere where they love you too. And so you're all gonna get money moving forward because of the posts. But the name that I pulled out of the hat was Trisha Rude. Nice job. Yeah, oh, not bad. Well, Kirby Puppy used to call that rat hole money. That's money. Anytime we got cash, he put his rat hole. No one would know about it. So we won't tell the hubby. We won't tell the hubby. Anything else you want to share about the awards night?
Other than that, you can say thank you to them.
Oh, now now we can officially say thank you to Toddy. And there's Jason, a picture of Jason. But I mean, of course, the whole leadership team really did pitch in and put a lot of help into it. But
I think more than anything, I think we wanted to thank all of you for coming, for participating, for making it a special night, not only for us, but for yourselves. And I think that really is the spirit of KWPR. How do we share not only our gifts and our talents, but our time with each other and make it an evening really, really special. So from the leadership team to all of you, thank you for coming. Thank you for making it such a great evening. And we're so proud to be in business with all of you.
Oh, well, there we go. That's why you're sitting to wait. Any ahas for sharing with Mo? The first thing, once again, we were blessed with an amazing CEO, folks. I mean, this is one of the main founders of this company. The spiritual leader says, okay, to Olivia to speak to our ALC community is what we learned. I think the biggest takeaway from me real quick was just another leader that is super genuine. There's just nothing phony, you know? And it wasn't a big production of who she is. It's just straight from her heart. And we hear from Mark Willis at dinner one night, straight from the heart. We get who we get, and it's beautiful. What does that tell you guys? Learn your strengths and be who you are and build on those strengths. Speaking of strengths, Steve.
I'd heard it before, but she talked about coming in and looking at all the financials and closed down some offices because they weren't operating according to the model. And she talked about showing up for work at 6 a.m. and going home at 2 a.m., getting 4 hours of sleep and doing it over again and again and again. And it reminds me a little bit, I wasn't that dedicated or working that many hours when I got started, but there were days when you would spend easily 12 hours a day trying to get your real estate career off the ground. And to hear that she did it all the time is like, blows me away.
It's pretty impressive. It was pretty fun to hear her as well say that she was a music teacher who did not have one class, college course in any sort of business, She just jumped into real estate, developed a great opportunity in Oklahoma, partnered with Gary, opened Keller Williams in Oklahoma. Not too long after that, Gary wanted her to be the CEO. She's the CEO.
And followed the models.
Followed the models.
Well, a very thin manual. She read every word. And she followed it. And then
It's
Gary
true.
took credit for everything she's done since then.
You listened really well. That was good.
And I would piggyback on that, not something that she said, but it definitely came across with her talking about the models and reading the books and working each day was consistency. Like I kind of got a underlying that she was consistent in building her business and what she was doing and, you know, just to do something and then move to the next, or that word of consistency. That we've talked a lot in this market center as well, so how important that is.
Well said.
I like how everything she says feels like it's just really coming from her heart, and how she lives so outwardly in her faith. I think it's so cool. And even through like when she says she needs to have tough conversations and stuff, it's all just to make everyone better. And it just makes me think of like the Proverbs when they said a friend loves at all times, and I feel like she just really does that no matter what she's doing.
That was deep. Thanks, Dottie. Thank you. All right, well, I think our ALC got a lot out of that. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about what we can build. With help, who do we got? All right, who has some withhelds that they want less withheld?
CMS Home Group has a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3-car attached garage coming in Northfield, 2130 Erie Drive. Beautiful home, corner lot, fully fenced in, backyard. Hardwood floors, 3 bedrooms up, huge primary bedroom, huge bathroom, walk-in closet. Lots of space for everybody to spread out and enjoy. 9-foot ceilings on the main and lower level, so great, lots of open space feeling. We're looking at probably $525-ish price point, and going on the 22nd, we'll be doing pictures on the 21st as well.
525 North.
Approximately, yes.
Approximately in Northfield or approximately price?
Approximately price,
Okay,
for
very
sure in Northfield.
Okay, all right. Which is south.
Yes. That way.
Sarah, thank you.
I've got one in the Cedar Isle neighborhood in Apple Valley. It's close to 5,000 square feet, really beautifully maintained home. Original owners built it in 95 or 96. 4 bedrooms up. There is a room in the basement that could be a bedroom, needs an egress, but the basement's beautiful, locked out to a gorgeous backyard, and it's on the pond. So beautiful house. Their timeline's a little up in the air. They are open to showings at any point, but they're trying to line up with their new build, and that closing date hasn't been set yet, so they're not ready to put it on the market probably for another month or so.
What price you want? 725. Nice, good work. Melanie.
I've got one in Stacy that's gonna be coming on March 1st. It's 9.62 acres. It's a Rambler style home with 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms up. It's got a lot of outbuildings. It has a cool old barn and tool shed that's really big and a lot of land. Good house. Price
So you don't have the price point?
$449. You're listing it now.
$449, that's a good space.
Where's it at again? It's in Stacy.
That's really far up north, in case anybody doesn't know that.
Yeah, Stacy
Good
is-
gas prices.
It's a great community up there. There's a lot, it's a
It is,
real
Linwood
family
Township.
live up there. Yeah, great community. Anybody else? Abby, you don't got one yet, do you? Oh, come on, dude.
Hopefully soon.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Abby's here with us, by the way. I'll say hi. Athena. Ooh, got it.
Yeah, got it.
And Athena's with us. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Okay, moving. Hotels are, there we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our lovely broker.
I'm bringing them up today. I have a gift for you all. It was asked from me about a year ago if our market center had a collection of commonly used clauses. And we didn't. So I thought to myself, is this a good idea or is this a bad idea? And you might have a little bit of both as I look at two very experienced gentlemen back here. But I spent the entire year as I was auditing purchase agreements, looking to see if any of you had written in unique clauses, helpful clauses, those challenging clauses when it comes to things like appraisal gap guarantees. What do we do if there's hail damage or a storm that goes through? Then I ran it through several of the team leaders here at the Market Center. And then in January, I ran it past two solo agents that I felt were very experienced and very trustworthy. And last but not least, sent it on over to Greg, and we have a collection of commonly used clauses for you. So I'm hopeful that you guys will spend, a few weeks kind of looking at them, getting used to them, determining if we think it's something that we should actually put right into Instanet. I'm thinking probably not. But for now, we have buried it, literally buried it, in the dashboard because we don't want it to be the first thing that any other agent can go to and can see for our market center. We want this to be something special and unique to you. So as you scroll down in the KWPR dashboard, you'll get past everyone's appointment links, and then you'll get into resources here, and the common clauses are there. I also have, for the newer agents, just a reminder, since it's here, I also have recordings of how I've talked through the forms if you need to go back and get a refresher. So I'm really hoping that, on Saturday when your kid has a basketball game at 9 a.m. and one at 11, and you do a showing in between, and you need to rush that offer in by the noon, highest and best, that when your brain isn't just fully thinking, that it could be a resource that you could go to and say, all right, I'm gonna just review this, see what other people in the Market Center would say about this situation. Feel free to copy and paste, but we definitely want you to personalize them as well. So now one last thing, I would like everyone, it was a big project, I want everyone to stand up and give me a round of applause. Standing ovation. Standing ovation. I'm teasing, but you have to stay standing. It wasn't a standing ovation for me. It was an opportunity for me to tell you how much I love working with you, how proud I am for how hard you work. And on Valentine's Day, I'm going to pass on a little something that I learned. We all often will go in and give a hug like this with our right arm, like, yeah, give a little hug there. But did you know, everyone raise your left hand, if you go in and give a hug with your left to your next door neighbor, which you can do, just go ahead and do it right now. Mo Anderson says we need 7 hugs a day, or we'll get weird. If you do it with your left, did you notice that you touch heart to heart with the person that you're hugging?
Got it. Victoria hug.
So now turn to the other side and hug someone else so you can feel it again. You gotta get 7 a day. 7 a day. Doesn't that feel nice? Doesn't that feel nice? Yes, thank you, heart to heart. And when you see Victoria tomorrow, tell her thanks for teaching me that little trick. Happy Valentine's Day. Keep up the great work.
You do.
Bucky's in the house. It is my Valentine's Bucky shirt. So as much as I love him, and I'm wearing my heart for that, I'm here to talk about Career Night next Tuesday. Wonderful Sherry, I think it was Sherry, made it a post for Toddy. Both of them made a post, put it on Facebook. It's on our private group, but it's also on our public page. And the public one is shareable. So if you want to have the ease of sharing it to your friend group, your social media, please do so. Invite as many people as you can. We've made it an Eventbrite so they can RSVP. We're going to spend some time talking about Career Night and how to get started in real estate.
So what's coming up? Let's talk about all the things that are coming up. We want for at least the rest of this week to continue to have you completing the surveys. The surveys are very important to us because that's how we can figure out how best to help you in your needs in the future. So please take a minute to fill out that survey. We intend to review that at our March meeting, one of our March team meetings. Tomorrow is the last day of the book club with Melissa.
And a good one.
But it's been very exciting so far. If you haven't had a chance to participate, tomorrow's a great day. It is a SPAR event, and Melissa's leading that with agents all over the Twin Cities. So that's pretty cool. In addition to that, she is also hosting Brown Bag Lunch. I don't know that you have to have a brown bag. She's agreed to allow you to bring food in or have it brought in by DoorDash. But that is fantastic. Goes on 12:30 to 1 out in the resource room. We mentioned career night already. We'd love to have some new faces and talk to them about being here. What I really want to talk about is next week, we are going to have a Get Listings Now panel with 3 top agents from across Keller Williams. And I actually, to be fair, have a somewhat difficult last name. Sometimes people struggle with it. All of these people have joined the club and having a somewhat difficult name to pronounce. So they will be here to introduce themselves, but they are all top producers, and I'm excited to see them. They will be here as a panel for that team meeting next week. Following the team meeting at 12:30, we're going to dive into wealth building with Kyle Olson and Laura Linneman, who are both local folks who have built a rather large business based on owning property, and talk about how to do that and how to get into that business. They currently own 12 multifamily units, 2 cabin rentals, 2 commercial buildings, and a 77-unit apartment building. They started this process back in March 2020. So that's a pretty big and rapid growth, and they want to talk about that and share that with you and talk about how you can make that happen for yourself. That is next February the 21st at 12:30. Right in between the team meeting with that panel and these folks, if you are going to family reunion, we are going to talk about family reunion stuff you can expect during that lunch period right in between. So if you're able to be here next Wednesday, feel free. It's just going to be item. We are going to keep you busy and talk about all those fantastic things. All right, with that in mind, I've got my good friend from Next Door Photos, always entertaining and something fresh to talk about. Come on down, sir.
How y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
Good to see everybody. I don't know if you got my email earlier. And that's okay. I said, I can always just soft shoe when I go up there. So I sent an email just saying, hey, we've got a new price list. If you haven't seen it, it's on the back. It completely recaps everything on the Essentials program that we have with Next Door Photos. So if you haven't been shooting with us, the Essentials include your 25, 35, or 45 photo package, plus a floor plan, plus a listing website, and a data dusk conversion image for you to highlight that property and grab more attention online. While we've been talking to all of our clients out there, what we've been hearing is, number one, the ones that are using it and using it well are loving the fact that they've got one place for all their media. Number two, it's a postable link that you can post out to both the MLS, if you turn the map off, which I think we've turned the map off now. So you can post to the MLS and also to any and all social media. That brought up a whole slew of additional thoughts. And the reason I wanted to have that up there, do you have one of those price lists real quick, dear? I'm just going to read off a couple things that I think would apply for everybody in here when you're shooting a property. So we've all had those properties that maybe we don't want to show a whole lot of the property, right? And so you're doing a 25 photo shoot and you've got, you know, the basics there, but you want things to post. Why not do a social media photo reel for $10? It's a $10 add-on. It's a postable link that will last anywhere from 15 to 25 seconds and grab the attention of the online user, right? So your package at 25 photos is $160. That includes your essentials. And for another 10, so now at 170, you've got that home completely ready to go and market, right? On top of that, you could do a photo slideshow. So now turn those photos into a slideshow, that's $25. So you got this little postable reel, and then you got another piece that's a slideshow. You're still under $200. You got your listing website link, you've got photo reel, and you've got a photo slideshow. All right, now let's go upgrade a little bit. Now we've got a little nicer home. Do a one-shot social media reel. That's where you're starting in front of the home. It's a vertically shot video that actually walks through the home. And it hits the highlights and it goes real fast between the boring stuff. It slows down for the rest of it. 30 seconds to a minute. It's what the users out there love to see. Those are $50 add-on. There's another one that's a one-shot social media reel as well. That's a little bit deeper dive. That's where we'll slow it down a little bit more. That one just adds an extra $10 to the cost. And then finally, you've got your video walkthroughs. $150, that's where we go through and there's all kinds of clips we take throughout the home. It's professionally assembled with the music and everything around it. On top of that, you can add agent on camera for $50. Introduce the home. Be outside the home when it's when the shot is leaving. And that works on the higher end video walkthrough for the $150. Or if you're doing aerial photography, aerial photos is $100. You add $50 for aerial video. Now you can do that on the aerial video as well. At another $50, and you can introduce the home and watch the flyby happen. Okay, so lots of options, basically to link out and post links that will drive traffic to your listing and to yourself and help you shine. In closing, the primary thing I want to get across to everybody is it's affordable to do this professionally and to look your very best out there online. And you get to keep this media basically for, we don't expire these things, all right? So now how do you actually use this, let's say 6 months from now? Home's been long sold. How could you use everything that you just did on that listing?
Listing presentation.
Listing presentation. Exactly. As you accumulate this, you're going to have homes that are going to be similar to homes that you're presenting to. Now you have the ability to pull up and show people exactly what you're going to do for them. Okay? So we're here to help you. We're your marketing partner, Next Door Photos, Twin Cities. We'd love to work with you. Just give us a call.
Yeah, I better.
And lunch is Chick-fil-A, so let's have fun today.
I also want to mention, as he's talking about those different packages, if you were here last week for Mastermind, one of the things Olivia talked about was having a menu of services for your listings. And including those upgraded packages in the process, where does each one fit, and adding to your partners, like at the base level, this is at our 6%, this is where you get 6.5%, we're gonna add this, and at 7%, we're gonna add this third item. That gives great value to your clients and gives them the opportunity and reasons to pick on your menu of services. If you're not familiar with that concept, please reach out to myself, Olivia, Jamie. Happy to talk to you about that as part of your listing services. All right, there we are. We wanted today to talk about the one thing. And Jamie and I are going to kind of combine to talk about the one thing. If you're not familiar with the one thing, it's a book. Do we have a book? Does it look like a book? Is it bookish?
Oh, yeah. We'll do a drawing.
A drawing for the book, the one thing.
drawing.
That's the point. One, we do wash our hair on Saturday morning. On Saturday morning.
One time a week, yeah. Well, real quick, before we jump in, at the beginning of the year, we really talked about there's gonna be a lot of distractions this year. Probably more so than normal. It's an election year, rates up and down, lawsuits, lots of noise.
Leap year.
Leap year, yep, we got an extra. Oh, wow.
that was crazy.
Good Lord.
Distracting.
That was, I can't unsee that. And I don't think I
Pirate
want to.
sleeping.
That was great. So, it's just hyper important, and as Ann said, talked about how focused, she is, and, excuse me, Tricia too, on how focused Mo is. And we'll get to the domino piece, but it's just really important right now, especially with this next month coming up, we're loaded with listings, we're loaded. Every Wednesday is gonna be a lot of information to help build upon your one thing. But let's just get crystal clear about what your one things are so that we can expound, even in quarter two, when it comes to technology. We wanna make sure we have our technological ducks in a row. Meet with Jason. When quarter Q2, that's after you hear what they're gonna share at family reunion. You're gonna wanna have that stuff behind you so that you can hit the door or hit the floor running.
So, one thing, one thing. The domino effect. The one thing starts out by talking about the domino effect. And the domino effect is a really interesting idea that one single domino, and this has been studied, people actually did the work, they did the math, they did the science, they did the tests, and one single domino can knock down another domino that's 50% larger. So if you have one that's 2 inches high and you hit it, it can knock down a 4-inch high domino. Starting with a 2-inch domino, you can knock down a 3-foot high domino in just 6 steps. Bing, 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 right on up the line. And what does this have to do with our business? Well, the idea is that we've got to line up our priorities daily so that we have them in the right order. And as we knock down the first one, in priority order, they all fall from there. So we've got to, what the goal of the one thing is to find the lead domino. Jamie, what do?
Find the lead domino?
And?
Oh, I think it.
Oh, that's pizza, Jamie.
Oh, my bad.
When we find the lead domino,
you whack it.
You whack it. And Jamie, as a hitter, was very good at that. He was fantastic. That's what he did. He would whack away. He was whacking away, find that dude. But the key to this process is time, and success is built sequentially. It's about putting things in the right order, understanding your priority, putting them in order, and working that process. If you take that geometric progression we talked about, where each domino is twice as high as the previous domino, it would take 18 dominoes, just 18 dominoes, to be as tall. The 18th domino would be as tall as the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Now that's with the lean, that's not standing straight up. But the 23rd domino would be as tall as the Eiffel Tower. The 31st domino would be 3,000 feet above Mount Everest. And the 57th domino would just be a little shy of reaching the moon from the planet. So geometric progression is really important. Do you think that you could knock down a domino the size of between here and the moon? Well, you see, that's the thing, you can. That's the trick, is you can, because the only domino you have to do is this one. All the other dominoes, sequentially placed, take care of everything in between. That's the trick of geometric progression. The most important thing in your life is the most important thing. And if you take a whack at that, it will take care of all the others down the road. And the bigger problems get solved by taking care of the smallest problems and whacking away at that one. That drives the whole process. So success leaves clues. If you think about this, where have I seen proof of this? Well, KFC. Who had a great hamburger at KFC recently? Anybody? Anybody? No, because KFC does chicken. That's what they do. Coors built their entire empire and even had a movie, Smokey and the Bandit, based on Coors back in the day. Yeah, that's based on Coors because you can't get it across state lines. With Coors, they built this entire on one beer. They didn't have 20 beers. They didn't have 60 flavors. They have one beer, Coors Banquet Beer. It is the original beer that built Coors. They grew 15,000% over the course of 30 years on one beer. One beer, we're gonna do one thing and do it well. And Apple, while they have many products, they have one ecosystem. And everything goes into that system. Anybody has an Apple phone, you get your messages on the computer. It just works like it's supposed to. You don't even think about it. They have one vision. So as an agent, what is your one thing? Now, right now, you might be tempted to answer. Some of you might be scared to answer. But no matter who you are, I want you to think about that answer, because we're gonna find out about it in a little bit. In the meantime, we're gonna talk about one person. So we talk about one product and one service, one person. Walt Disney was an amazing animator. Not surprisingly, he wasn't a great businessman. And it was his combination with Roy Disney, his brother, that actually propelled him to success. Roy was the business mind behind the Disney empire, and the two of them together created what we think of as Walt Disney. Now, of course, no Mickey Mouse without Walt, but no Walt Disney without the two of them. The Beatles initially and for most of their careers were absolutely at odds with each other over how to write a song. Now, all of these songs today come across as we completely understand them, they make perfect sense, and they all seem to flow perfectly. But it wasn't until George Martin, their producer, got involved in their records that they started really gelling and making success. George Martin was the one person who could bring them all together. And when he eventually passed, that's when the whole thing went south. People like to believe it was Yoko Ono, but it really had a lot more to do with George Martin. Sam Walton, we all know Walmart, we've all seen Walmart, but where did Walmart start? Walmart started with a gift from Sam Walton's father-in-law, L.S. Robson, who bought him his first franchise, Ben Franklin. Without that, there is no Walton. And what that brings to mind is each of us, I don't have a one thing, but typically have one person who's made a huge difference in our life. No one succeeds alone. Nobody. I'd like to believe we could, but the reality is we need that one person. Have you taken the time to identify that one person, that one voice who always has your best interests in mind? Maybe it is your mom, and that's okay. But there has to be one person that you go to who helps you both overcome the challenges and keeps you going when you need to. So one person. And one passion or one skill. What are you passionate about? What is the learned skill that you have now that you are in this business? What is it that separates you from everyone all around you? An example is Bill Gates. He had a passion. It's computers. Pretty simple. But he learned to program well before anybody else did. He was in the computer lab early on. He loved these things. And other people were like, I don't even know what that thing is. And this is way back in the old times. So he got into programming. And he met one person, Paul Allen, who understood business in a way that Bill Gates didn't. He could write all the programs he wanted. And then they developed one product, and that's DOS, which then propelled their entire thing into being one of the most wealthiest men in the world at one point in time, and among them. And with that in mind, I brought my good friend Curly. You all know Curly. He tell us a little story. Maybe he's going to tell us a little story a little louder, Jamie. I love it. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I can hear it.
I know. I appreciate that. I really do. Because sometimes people touch stuff and then it gets really quiet.
You start leaping at me.
I do. They're leaving Larry. They're leaving Lanny Poffo.
Randy Savage.
You know what the secret of life is?
No, what?
This. Your finger? One thing. Just one thing. You stick to that and everything else don't mean shit. That's great, but what's the one thing? You gotta figure out.
Now, it seems simple. It's a simple lesson, right? What is the one thing? What is the one thing such that by doing it, do we know how to finish that sentence? Louder, we could finish it louder. What is the one thing such by doing it? Or easier. That's the thing that's important, and we've got to figure that out, and it changes every day. Who can help us with that? The one person. It might be Curly. How do we figure it out? It's our passion, what makes us passionate. So we thought with that in mind, to do a little bit of, well, seeing this thing. I love it every week or every month at Mega Agent Wednesdays. Mastermind, yes. We talk about this pyramid, and what's at the base of the pyramid?
Leads.
Leads, because in this business, that is
Number one.
the one thing that starts everything else out. So it's important that we think about leads in that one thing mentality. Now, each of us has a way that we generate leads, our primary lead process, right? So as an example, Kelly, where do you get most of your, where would you say you get most of your leads? Sphere. As clients. They're kind of very closely connected. Where's my good friend Matt? Not here today, but if Matt were here to tell you today, he would say, Matt Moreland. Well, Matt Moreland would tell you he likes to door knock. Door knock. John Hoffmeister would tell you he likes to phone call people. Everybody has a priority way that they generate leads. We all agree. You all have an idea of what your way of generating leads is.
Yes.
Great. I want you to get together in groups. Turn around to face people in front of you or behind you, depending on where you're at, and think about a new way of doing that. So for example, if my number one way is to interact with my sphere, and the number one way I interact with my sphere is through Facebook, how could I, with the help of the person behind me or the person in front of me, depending on where we're at, how can I come up with a new way to interact with them? So for example, it might be something as simple as give them a call, schedule an event. What are different ways that we can do this? Because the smartest people in this room are not these two guys. The smartest people in the room are all of you. And when we apply our collective intellect and knowledge to building our one thing, we will get better results. So take a few minutes, interact with your peers, figure out what your one thing is, and ask them how you or how they can improve that.
How many of us?
Nice to meet you again.
I try to be like a
I would say Facebook and texting is my basically an introduction to Monday went well. I think
Are you here? No. But I actually
Who would be a brave soul to share? Did anyone come up with any new ideas on how to reach the one thing when it comes to leads?
I know one
You're still
thing.
doing it.
I know one
Yeah,
thing that would
let's
help
hear your
me.
one thing.
The one thing that would help me is setting up something fun and free to give to somebody.
Say it again, we didn't hear you.
You didn't hear me?
I didn't hear you, I was still talking, I'm sorry.
Let me say
They're
it again.
enjoying it, so it's.
They're learning so much.
They are. Actually, there's a couple. Okay, we got some people who want to share, so let's hear it let's listen to our compadres. Thanks, that's like
I know.
Ann Edmonds has one to share, let's hear her out. It might help you, let's hear her out.
I think for me personally, if I had one thing, something free and exciting to offer
Hold on,
somebody.
everybody. I'll have a chance to share. I'm glad there's that many people who will. Go ahead, Ann.
One thing, having something fun and free to offer to somebody, which could be anything from a CMA to an event to whatever, but something that you're excited about, to send a quick text, a quick call. I don't think you have to do everything the same for everybody. Because I have people, I try to write down how the modes are of communication. So, but just doing a quick individual text that you can copy and paste and send out to people.
So that'll be something that'll add on to where you already get your business from, which is your sphere.
Yeah.
So if I'm thinking about that in my mind, one of the things that comes to mind is, one, I could write a really quick smart plan and fire off a bunch of different little things to a person. And if I was really doubling down on that idea, let's say that idea was a CMA, right? I want to make sure that I had my homeowners separated from my buyers, so I would know which ones actually own a home. And then I want to send out something that also gives them a reason to do it now, right? So right now, we know interest rates have come down a couple times over the last month since the start of the year. Hey, did you know interest rates are down a couple months so far this year? Send me a quick message and I'd be happy to do a free CMA for you, right? So there's just a tie-in. There's an intro piece and then a call to action, which we call a MOFR.
Is that something you would help them do on smart plans?
I can certainly help with smart plans, you bet.
So all they have to do is click your Calendly.
All they have to do is click Calendly at kwpr-chatcore.com.
So once you set it up, it just goes.
It goes.
So it takes a little bit of energy at first and then
away it goes, like that.
Like a leaping Jason.
Oh!
All right. Anyone?
How fast could you implement that? I mean, that's a
Like
simple idea.
Just so fast.
Like right now, you
Yep.
could do that right now in the middle of the meeting. If you were,
No, yeah.
if you were an inattentive multitasker.
Yeah, yeah. Like this one.
Also, anyone else have one thing that they want to share that they think they could build upon what was already successful for your number one lead source? Come on, don't be shy. There's lots of.
Without having to share, how many of you learned a new thing today? Go ahead and raise those hands, everybody can see them. I mean, look, you don't always have to share, and I get it. Sometimes that's uncomfortable talking in front of big people. I don't know how to do it. Jamie certainly doesn't know how to do it. Anytime But part of the thing I want to reinforce is part of your one person is right next to you. They're right next to you. And we get so caught up in what we've done and what we've been successful at, and we just kind of keep going at it. And right now, somebody probably in the last 2 months has told you, you need to do 2x or 5x or 10x what you're doing, and you're bored of it. You are bored of that thing. And so if you reach out to somebody right next to you and say, what's another way to do that? Suddenly you've got new energy and a new idea and a new way to do 5 or 10x, whatever plan you're on, to get that going. And that is the value of the people around you. It's so huge when you do that. And you get an idea like Ann's and you can implement it right away. It doesn't take 10,000 steps and 85 people and 6 hirelings. It's just you. You're on your way.
And the first domino.
And it is the first domino to knocking down all the other things. Really quick, I want you guys to think about this one, and none of you have been in a PC class with me, but my favorite exercise in the PC class, and this is exactly what we would talk about as we were, if this was a PC class, I'd look back there and I'd say, hey, Tricia, to give you an example right now, if right now a person walked in that front door and said to Sherry, I need to sell my house, do you have someone available? Sherry would text me, I don't know if you know that, but she would text me. And I would say, all right, I got an idea. I would run out there, I would grab that person, I would bring them right in front of all of you and say, 30 seconds at a time, tell this person why you're the right choice for them. Do you know what you would say in 30 seconds to convince somebody that you're the right person to do business with? Not everybody does. Not everybody has. Right? But that is your one thing. Why are you the one? And being able to communicate that in 30 seconds is super, super important. And when we talk about bravery, is there anybody in here who's brave enough to tell me why they're the right one? Anybody? Misha is.
I'll go. I'll get the job done and we'll have fun.
Do you know Misha? Because that sum her up in one very quick sentence. I know exactly what I'm gonna get. And truth be told, if I'm a really serious X's and O's and wanna know all the details, she might not be the right person for me. She's made that choice, and I'd make that choice too, to go with her because I wanna have fun. Anybody else got an idea what they would be in 30 seconds? John?
Sure. I start this out with, tell me what's most important to you, right?
What's most important to me is making money on my house and being efficient.
Okay, great. So, do you think that the person that knows how to do that the best is probably your best choice? The person who's done this so many times that this is like second nature to them, they can start this now and get everything going by tomorrow? Is that something that would work for you?
Heck yeah, efficiency is my button, buddy.
Okay, so we got the systems ready for you. Let's get started.
40 years of experience right there.
Red Wing, Minnesota.
And you felt it, right?
John, go ahead.
Efficient. So I challenge you to think about that. That is the lead domino. Who are you? After you know that, that's your service. That's your product. Everything else follows that after that. So be thinking about that one thing. Next time I see you in the halls, not today, I give you a whole day of break, but the next time I see you, I'm gonna ask. I wanna know, because it helps me help you when we talk about smart plans, because that one thing has gotta show up in the smart plan. And that one thing has gotta show up in your newsletter. And that one thing starts to show you who you need to talk to next. When you're figuring out, who am I gonna talk to? It drives all the other pieces of your business when you know who you are and what your business is about.
Just like we talked about before, these people like the Mo Andersons of the world, they're so authentic. What Misha shared and how John shared, what John shared, you felt them, their spirit, and it was congruent with who they are. So know who you are when you craft your message, know what separates you, and just be ready to be able to fire a couple things off. Jason will do this. And he will
Be
match you
prepared.
first. Oh, jeez. Okay, well,
I think that was a challenge to lead back.
we have, before we go, we have a drawing.
Drawing
Toddy, you got it? Here, there we go. We'll let the goddess pick a number.
I suppose so.
Athena, right? Athena?
That would be correct.
Wasn't Zeus?
Not quite. 48.
We don't go to 48 maybe today?
Today we're going up to 28.
Oh, we're going to 28.
Okay.
You can control that. You just have it.
This is also not within that. This is 43.
Okay.
Take a lower one.
Yeah, you-
Trying.
Yeah.
This is also.
This is fun.
This is quite frustrating.
She's a big thinker.
Yes.
Okay, we have 31.
No,
28.
28.
Oh,
28 or something, yeah.
28.
But you're getting
We're
closer.
not getting there.
This is awesome.
I'm about to look in this head and find a number lower than that. Okay, 16.
That's Mary Steer, and she's on Zoom.
Hey, Mary! We will bring this to tomorrow in Victoria's happy hour. And a reminder, we are closing at 4 so that all staff can get there on time. And Tatiana has one more big thing.
Hey, we're gonna take a quick video for family reunion. And if it's really good, which I want it to be, then they're gonna put it on the big screen. So they sent out an email asking that we could do a video that says, "I believe we will win." So if everybody could like kind of crowd up at the front, and then Jamie, if you could get on a chair back here.
No, you got a bad back.
And Jamie's gonna say "I," and then you guys will say "I," and then believe. Does everyone know that cheer?
Yes.
Okay.
We watch soccer.
Ready, go.
Hey.
I don't watch